Hello, David Paul here. I can slow down now. I just made 2 video shorts. I don't think I like that format, 60 seconds. It doesn't suit a talky, chatty person like myself. What's this one about? At some time somebody's going to ask me, what does the outside of your cabin look like? Well, basically it's a stealth cabin. The idea is to be invisible. Unless you actually come up to it, and nobody's going to do that here because I'm surrounded by thicket and thorns, and eventually the nettles are starting to grow up. Nobody in their right mind would want to come down here. I know the route, so I don't need to worry about that. So there's my cabin. You're looking at a cabin there. How about that, eh? Now, all of these things, as you know, in the previous videos I've made, I call these the triffid plants. In the summertime, these grow up about at least 15 feet high, and the whole place is completely surrounded. I did actually have an idea to put solar panels up, but it's completely pointless because the thing never sees the sun. Okay, so what I've got is a load of cuttings of ivy plants which I've stacked around. I've tidied up. The municipality around here, they prune these things, and I take the cuttings and dump them up like that. Now, if any mud gets on this or dirt or anything, what will happen is they'll start to take root, which is exactly what I want to do. However, in addition to that, I'm deliberately going to plant ivy plants all around here. You get these occurring in nature, kind of big tussock things piled up with ivy, and that's it. Whatever is underneath it just gets lost, and that's the intention here. And on top of that, there will be other stuff on top which will conceal it completely, but I'm going to knit that in all really tight. So you'd have to come down here and you'd have to start digging to literally dig out the cabin and find that it was there. And the idea is that it's going to be completely gone. To be honest, I don't think anybody really cares about me in my cabin, but all the same, I would rather that it was secure and invisible, because when I go away, I don't want anybody breaking in. Not that there's going to be anything in it. Everything of value is going to be taken out. There'll just be the bed there and a few clothes, and I'll be off to Portugal and the Philippines, and that's it. So that's what it looks like outside, and all the way around the cabin looks like that. There's a small part on this side which is not yet concealed. It's got the tarpaulin showing, but no, as I say, nobody comes down here anyway, so nobody's going to be worried or bothered about this. The top part is quite bare, so anybody being able to see from a height down onto this would see the top part, but that will soon be covered over as well. And with my constant mining of this soil to dig it out, I've got a very long way that I can go down if I so choose to do. So I'm just carefully walking down here, making sure that I don't fall over in my wood yard. Let's call this the wood yard. Why not? Because it's my yard full of wood. I've got a lot of wood here. Really got to get on with this, but I can't do anything for all the digging. Dig. So there we are. David Paul's castle on the hill. Now, I'm a long way down in relation to that. There's no groundwater here. This never floods or anything. So that tells me that I have the capacity, if I wish to completely mine down all the way I wanted, and take it really low. So I could have the top of the cabin flush with the earth if I wanted to, but there's no real point to that, because in this terrain there are hills random all over the place, so this would just be one of them. So I'm not going to go down any further. And also I'm going to take the opportunity of possibly fitting some windows in here at a later date. We'll see. And or there may be a skylight on the top. Now obviously if I'm going down and down and down, I'm going to make this damn thing really dark, and also the safety issues get bigger as as the thing gets deeper in relation to its width. Because as I've said in previous videos, if the walls collapsed, it wouldn't fill the area that I'm in, so you would just step up and walk out, and that's just not going to happen anyway. Now this ivy is an amazing plant. You can use it as a structural element. You can actually construct a house out of ivy by giving it a framework to grow up and then weaving it together so that it all fuses to produce a solid wall. And that's an experiment I'm going to try in Portugal, but I'm going to do that with Portuguese laurel trees, and we'll see if we can build ourselves a cabin out there which is invisible as well, although I will register that with the authorities because it's on my own land. And that's it. They're going to find it a bit curious, a man applying for permission to build a house out of a tree. So, senor, you're applying for permission for a tree. Yes, basically. So that's going to baffle them. I'll get it started first and have it as a hedge, and then as it starts to become a tree, a house rather, then I'll discuss it with them, and then they can come down and see it. And also my many videos of the stuff I've done down here, and the house that I've already renovated in Portugal, because by the time I do that it will be renovated. And that's it. So just a little recap on my short video that I made about not falling over in the forest. This here is a very, very slippery area, and you can fall on your backside, which you don't want to do because you'll end up covered in mud and filth and everything, and potentially hurt yourself. So as I was saying about the stones, as you're mining away, digging away, you'll find stones amongst it. Keep the stones in an extra bucket and then just tip them, and then gradually they get pressed into the ground, and what they do is they form like a carborundum wheel, where you've got these grip factors in here, so that as you're walking up and down, they're not essential anymore because they're ground into the earth. But of course, if you slip at all, you will expose these stones, and that will arrest your slip. A few days ago, if I'd stood in this particular spot, I would have skidded over on my backside. But now it's getting better and better by every day. I've just dumped a whole load of these stones. That's why they're all proud like that. Within about a day or so, they're going to be pressed in, and that's it, gone. And over there, a little bit of a hill there, and that's also another place where I've slipped, but that's becoming safe as well. Now let's have a look at that. This place is going to be tidied up soon, because once I get the centre dug out, all of this timber's going indoors. So there's the perfect sort of thing that you want. So it's not obvious that there is a path here. These just really look like natural stones or something, like a natural feature, not like a constructed thing. There, look at that. But of course that's a terrific angle on that you could slip on, and that's not going to happen because those stones are in there. So that carborundum grit wheel sort of effect is there, and that's it. More of the earth that I'm bringing out is going to be piled up here amongst these, what I call the triffid plants, and then that'll give the ivy a basic structure to climb up. And if possible, I will even have ivy on the inside of the cabin to secure and make more solid that wall that's in there, that earth wall. I see no reason why you can't have earth berm structures with ivy on the inside, using the ivy as a structural material, and then panel in on top of that so you don't get to see it. That's it. So, até logo. Makita tayo sa kana. See you later. Jesus be with you.